All right, joining us now to talk more about the police response we saw yesterday at the Capitol and to get into exactly what went wrong, we're joined tonight by former FEMA presidential appointee Mark Nouveau. Mark, a lot obviously to dissect here because so many things went wrong to allow this to happen here. But we heard obviously the Capitol Police Chief stepping down amid some of these reports that the department rejected federal help for this event. They could have potentially had a greater show of force. Clearly, they were outnumbered. They were unprepared as the crowd turned violent and forced their way in. When you look at it from a security standpoint, I mean, is this anything other than an epic failure?
No, very concerning and also very inspiring, I guess is the best word to say, Alex. And here's the concern, is that the National Capital Corridor region, which is where all the government agencies, buildings, VIPs reside and operate. That is a 62 square mile geographical area that there are plans and plans and plans on how to deal with terrorism, earthquakes, all types of disasters. And it requires not just in this case, the Capitol Police, but also mutual aid agencies, both federal, FBI, Secret Service, National Guard, Washington, D.C. police, all of those. So questions should be asked not just of the Capitol Police, but also of all of the agencies. How did we get to this point? What took place? What didn't take place? I think they have to ask some very serious questions of these organizations and their leaders.
Yeah, I mean, there should be no reason that law enforcement responding to this kind of event and a crowd here should have been caught off guard by what was taking place here. What do you make in terms of the show of force once you started to have people trying to push down those barricades, push past Capitol Police officers, and trying to get inside the secure Capitol building? What do you make of the show of force that we saw in response? In many cases, it appeared as though gates were sort of opened up for people to walk on in.
And isn't that one of the greatest questions? How do you allow, or the appearance of, police officers moving the barricades to allow the protesters to enter that area? Not only that, those police officers who were there trying to protect congressional members, the building, etc., they were outnumbered. So they were in a precarious position themselves and actually were somewhat heroic in what they did with the people and the numbers that they had. So the question becomes not only why weren't there more, but also how come you didn't support the people who were there? Those are very egregious questions. Add to that, we know that 342 National Guard members were there. They were doing traffic support. Now, they also can carry arms and can provide security. So the question is, why were they not armed and in a detail of security rather than doing traffic control?
Yeah, absolutely. And you make a strong point. Obviously, the men and women of the Capitol Police Department did heroic work yesterday and likely saved a lot of lives with what they did. So that is important to point out here. But in terms of the planning and preparation, there was something that went wrong here. Hey, Mark, let's wrap up here looking ahead to what is going to happen in Washington, D.C. in less than 2 weeks. It is Inauguration Day for President-elect Joe Biden. What kind of concerns, after what we saw play out yesterday, what kind of security concerns do you have now about the inauguration?
Honestly, not so much. Because of the flawed response to this protest, you're going to see every agency operating at tip top. They're going to provide every resource, whether it's aerial, ground, technology, GIS, all of them are going to be working together. And keep in mind, this area already has standing committees in which they talk about these things and they plan for it. So this isn't out of the ordinary. It's something they can do. But you can bet that they're definitely going to have everybody patrolling, everybody also, probably no time off during this time, I would imagine also.
I would imagine so, and maybe some reassessing of those security plans as well in light of what we saw play out. All right, always great to get you on. Really appreciate your insight here on the topic. Former FEMA presidential appointee Mark Nouveau. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Take care, Alex. Thank you.